Good evening, John Augustine here. 1994 events, and in 1990, on the 14th of the 3rd, 1994, when Albert, our good, excellent Taoiseach Albert Reynolds was Taoiseach stroke Prime Minister, a new £5 note was established bearing the name of Catherine McCauley. Do you know what Catherine McCauley was? Because the events of 94 just state that simple fact. But it's a very important fact. She was the founder of the Sisters of Mercy, a worldwide Sisters of Mercy, founded by Catherine McCauley in 1841. She was Christian Catherine Elizabeth McCauley. And she was a Catholic, but her father and mother died when she was young, and she was reared by an aunt on her mother's side and her husband, a childless couple who were Protestants. And she helped with them to do various things and teach the poor people in the neighbourhood religious instruction and education. And when both of those died, when they died one after another, she was left a considerable fortune. But she used for good. She used it to establish a home. Where did she establish it? Trafalgar House. She was born in Strokestown House in Dublin. Strokestown, which is in County Roscommon, so they must have some connection there. She was born in the 29th of the 9th, 1778. That was the year of the rebellion. Vinegar Hill in Wexford, where there was a massacre of innocent people, of those that fought for freedom. Now, and she died in the 11th, 1841, age 63 or something like that, in Bagot Street, which they had a home there for the destitute and people like that. She died of TB, tuberculosis, which is rampant in this country for years. A lot of people suffer from it. She founded the Sisters of Mercy in 1841. She founded the Sisters of Mercy in when did she founded the Sisters of Mercy she founded, I think, in 1800, but she started a home for the destitute and the down and out and the poor, and then she founded hospitals because the Archbishop of Dublin encouraged her to found sisters and have them sisters. So the Sisters of Mercy she chose on Mercy Sunday, or the feast of the Divine Mercy, and so that's what she called it. What they called it, Sister Mercy, and they treated destitute people and poor people with health and education. And so they did good. They did a lot of good, which is why we detest the attacks by the government of this country on the religious sisters when it did so much good for those that had nobody to help them. Yeah, and her sisters now expanded into other countries and other parts of Ireland, but then in other continents, including the United States, New Zealand, Australia. And I think there's about 5,500 Sisters of Mercy now and other associates. And she was declared venerable by Pope John Paul II in 1990. But I mean, she's a saint and she should be going on for sainthood. And many more of them, Nano Nagle, that founded the Presentation Sisters, and she based her order something on like the Presentation Sisters, and had a habit, and then they become nuns, and they were confirmed in that by the Archbishop of Dublin, and then they were recognised by the Vatican in as well. And there's a great article about there's a great article about Miss McCauley. It's a great article about her, about Catherine in Wikipedia, and I advise you look at it. I'd love to be able to repeat all it says, but there was a great lot about her on that website and details and all the rest of it. More details than I've given here, but she founded the Sisters of Mercy, supposed to say. And do you think this present government that we have here will be founding something with the Sister of Mercy and or Nano Nagle or some of the marvelous founder of the Christian Brothers? Is he blessed? He founded. I know his name well. It's just out of your head now. You know, when you're trying to just come, as I'm doing these live videos, you nearly want to have it written down because the names just can escape you. God, I know his name quite well because I visited the oratory in where the Christian Brothers were in Kells, and that's of course been sold by the superiors, and they're now down in Kerry or somewhere. Those brothers that were living there, and there was an oratory there. A little church, and I often was in that lovely little oratory, and I knew the brothers there. They were great, especially one of the brothers looked after the guard. He did a great job. You know, I often gave them a present then at Christmas. They were so good. And now, unfortunately, it's bought by a new owner, and I think there's a lot of Ukrainians living there now. It's all closed up. It's a shame, isn't it? That was a former Christian Brothers school in Kells. So I'm talking more about Catherine McCauley that was on the £5 note, and Albert Reynolds would have been in favour of that because he was a good practicing Catholic. And I wonder, did that precipitate the lack of support for Mr. Dick Spring, aided and abetted by Fergus Philly, his advisor, to vote, not support Albert, who was one of the best teachers we ever had, and brought the, I'll have to be more to talk about him now. So that was Catherine McCauley. On the 14th of the 3rd, it's a great thing to have recognition for a great saint, the founder of the Sisters of Mercy. They did such great work in education in this country. If it wasn't for them, many of one wouldn't have got a secondary school education. They were great. On the 13th of March 1994, and I saw that contest, great contest. Ireland won the 3rd National Song Contest in Dublin with Rock and Roll Kids, and Liam McGettigan from Drumshambo was the singer, and there was another fella, I think Hamilton was his name, can't think of his first name. He was a Dubliner, and they sang that, and there was the piano. I don't know which of them was playing, but it was a lovely tune. And that was the year that that the river dance was performed at that event, and it became a worldwide phenomenon. It overshadowed the win that Lee McGettigan had sung, and his partner, and I think they were playing the piano. It was lovely. I totally enjoyed that. It was one of the best songs I ever heard, the Rock and Roll Kids. So that was a great win for Ireland and gave us a great lift to 30th of March. And then in the 20th of May 1994, Jack Charlton was awarded the Freedom of Dublin. When you succeed in sport, you get a great honour. So he was given the Freedom of Dublin, although I think he was living in England most of his life, but he was given the Freedom of Dublin, which is a great honour. And we don't hear about too much things like that now. I know Nelson Mandela that was in jail in South Africa for years, and then when they got their freedom, he was president of that country, and he was given the Freedom of Dublin as well, which was good because he was a great leader and a very compassionate man as well. He had that spirit of compassion in his heart and soul, and it's a great thing to have, you know. And Albert, of course, was a great Taoiseach stroke prime minister we had. It was a pity he was this and but anyways, Ireland won, and then the Irish was joined Normandy, and the 6th of June, 1994, the 50th anniversary of the D-Day landings was celebrated on Omaha Beach, which I have visited when I've been in France and saw the various memorials. But Irish men fought in that, and those that were still alive attended that event with world leaders because they paid the ultimate price, a lot of them. I think there was 300,000 Irish men killed in that war, and Mr. Churchill after the war had a gall, as the British have this gall from time immemorial to insult this country by not joining in the war, and after the years of neglect that he inflicted on this country, he had a thundering cheek in John Malone's opinion, and De Valera gave him a good response. Thanks be to God, he come up to the plate. Again, it become a triumphant note for this country, its independence. Why should they join a war when they'd only got freedom from a tyrant, the British? They have a lot to answer for. They owe compensation to this country and fierce amount for the harm that they inflicted, the famine and the rest of it, and the attacks on the Catholic Church and priests and all those, the martyrdom of our great Archbishop of Mass, St. Oliver Plunkett. Oh, yeah. So there you are. Now, I think I'll leave it at that. I think we've sufficient. I was delighted to see that Mary. I was delighted to see that Catherine Elizabeth McCauley, the founder of the Sister Mercy, was on the £5 note, the new £5 note, on the 14th of the 3rd, 94. So we still had our own currency. We now have the euro, of course, and which is probably not bad, but it was great that she appeared on it. And I doubt if this modern crowd that we have it put any Catholic of that caliber on any note or anything like that. They're actually attacking the Catholic faith. They're talking about the laws that they're inflicting on people to their eternal damnation, and they should repent. Anyway, that's the end of that. And 1994. So there was the events, and the business of the £5 note was to me a great honour for the Sisters of Mercy, the great good that they did. And as far as I'm concerned, it did good from the time they were founded. Yeah. Now, bye now and have enjoyed the rest of the evening. This is my last video this evening. Bye now.